Hi guys, Kim here, design team member with Swirlydoos Kit Club. What I've got for you today is a comparison how to use some of the items in the mixed media kits that we've gotten over the last few months. We've got some items that were kind of similar. So what I'm going to do is just do a how-to on how I like to use them. I'm not an expert with this, but I'm going to compare some things to show you the differences and how you can use them. The first thing is some Inka Golds. On the last couple of kits, we've got a couple of Inka Golds. I've got two colors here. I've got violet that we've gotten in a kit, and I've also got the hematite that we've gotten in a kit. And I've also got some of the Art Alchemy metallic waxes. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the differences in the two and how I like to use them. So I've got a few pieces of chipboard here to show you how to use them on those. These are just the plain chipboard, and these are two pieces that I covered in gesso. And I've also got a few pieces of metal butterflies to show you how they work on metal as well. So the first thing is I'm going to open the Inka Gold, and you'll see with your Inka Gold when you open it, don't discard this cover on your lid. It's metallic and it's what helps keep your Inka Gold creamy, and that's the first thing that you'll notice when you open your Inka Gold. It's kind of creamy versus your waxes when you open those. And also don't discard this piece that you get too. Your waxes look a little more solid versus your Inka Gold. So that's the first thing you'll notice. The other thing is both of these, your ink, you've got a small pot. Your Inka Gold, you've got a larger pot. But again, you don't need a lot for either one of these products when you're using them. And actually for your waxes, you can start off using, if you've got some in what's on your lid, you can start with using that. There's several different ways that you can use these products too. You can use them either with your finger or with a little brush. I like to use my finger. I feel like I have a little more control with it. The other thing you'll notice too is the sheen in it. They both have some sheen, and depending on which metallic wax which wax you're using, this is a metallic wax, so this one's got some sheen too. They've got the opal wax, and I forgot what the other one is, but you'll notice that they've got different qualities in the sheen. I think the Inka Gold's got a little more sheen to it. You don't need a sealer for either one of these. They're both going to go on wet, but once they dry, they'll both be permanent, so that's another good thing about them. And it's just the vibrancy of the color. The Inka Gold, I think you're going to get more color. With the Art Alchemy waxes, I think you're going to get more of that aged color. Or at least with these, I'm working with bronze age and aged brass with the metallic waxes. So I'm going to start with the Inka Gold, and again, like I said, I like to use my finger, but you can use a brush. So you take your brush or your finger and you're going to go ahead and dip in it, and you're just going to go ahead and spread it. You can use a circular motion or you can pounce it on. And here I started with the brush, and as you can see, you get really good coverage with the brush, and if you get a little extra, that's fine. You can just pick it up with the brush and just spread it around. And now I'm just going to go in with my finger. And you can pick up as much as you want, and that is a good place to pick it up and spread it around. And then you can just go back with the brush, especially if you've got a piece that's got like all the openings like I did. Using my finger, I got it into the openings. So I'm going to go back with my brush and just pick up some of that color that I got there in the openings, because you don't want to waste your good stuff. And then I'm just going to take it back and use it to cover those other pieces. And with both of these, you can layer your colors. Once you've got one color down, you can always go back in with another color, and you can go ahead and layer your colors. And this probably works better if I put it down and stop trying to hold it. I can get better coverage, and I can get quicker coverage. I'm just trying to hold it for the camera for you. All right, using your brush, you get this covered a lot quicker. And this will wash right off your brush too, so you don't have to worry about ruining your brushes. All right, so there's my heart with the Inka Gold. Hopefully you can see the sheen that you've got on that, the nice shimmer that you've got on that. Now let's take a flower. I'm going to take a baby wipe, clean my finger off. Clean that off my hand. You see that just wipes right off. Now I'm going to go in with this one, and I'm going to pick up some of the aged brown. And again, this is a lot smoother, and it just goes on really nice. If you've noticed too, I love the smell of the waxes. Alright, and now that flower is all covered already. And it's got like that aged look on it. If you can see the difference in the sheen, this one's got a lot of sheen to it, this one not so much. There's a little bit there, but this one to me, it looks like a little more vintagey, a little more aged. And now if I want to, you can go back in and layer some color on it. So we'll go back to the Inka Gold one. And this one I hadn't even opened yet because I had a smaller one, but we're going to open this one. And again, you don't want to throw this away because this is what's going to help keep your Inka Gold moist. And I'm just going to go on with my finger because now I just want to layer colors and I just want to hit areas. So I'm going to do this to take a little bit of color off. And I'm just going to lightly brush over. Pick this up. Too much there. All right, I put a little too much on there, but with a little rubbing, I can soften that color a little bit because, again, remember, this doesn't dry right away. So I've just layered some color on there with my finger. And your finger's probably the best way if you're layering color, so you'll have a little more control over it. So now I've got a little bit of black on there. Hopefully you can see that color there. So I've just layered my colors. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Go in, I've got some aged brass. And I'm just going to go back over my flower here. And I just want to layer some color on my leaves. So I'll take a little bit and go around the edges. And then I'm just going to rub that. And you just keep layering and rubbing. Now you've got more colors that are out there. I chose these colors, and I'm sorry they're kind of hard to see, but these are the colors that we got in a kit. So that's what I chose to work with, and they're kind of hard to see on the chipboard. But you layer your colors. until you're happy with what you got. And I'll put some more darker on here so you can see the contrast in the two colors, especially if I put it through here. All right, now my leaves have got the aged brass on it, and the rest of my flower is the bronze aged. So my leaves are a little bit lighter, and they've got a little more shimmer to it because that color is a little bit lighter. Let's see if I can get a sheet of white paper. There, maybe that helps you look at the, see the difference there with the light. So that's the wax on the chipboard. Now let's see it looking how it looks on some chipboard with some gesso on it. So I've got these two pieces here, and let's see if we get a different look. And again, I'm going to go back with the lavender and take a little bit of it. And we're just going to go ahead and rub that right on. And I didn't completely cover it because once again I'm just going to go ahead and layer some colors. And what I'm seeing here is the colors look just a little bit lighter with that white gesso under here. So the gesso will help tone down your colors if you want to prime your chipboard first. And it actually kind of feels like the Inka Gold is spreading a little smoother. But here you go. Now there's that butterfly, this dragonfly, and my colors look a little bit lighter versus the one without chipboard. Without the gesso. So there's the chipboard with the gesso. The colors are just a little bit softer, a little more pastel-y colored versus the full vibrancy of the color from the Inka Gold on the chipboard without the gesso. Now let's see what the difference is with our metallic waxes. Now you'll see a difference if you use a piece with gesso on it when you use the Opal Magic colors. But as far as the metallics, I haven't tried those yet with this. So this is our first time using a piece with gesso on it. And again, I'm just gonna go ahead and layer my colors. So I'm gonna use a little bit of one and then go back in and layer the other color. But to start off, again, this color looks like it's coming out a little bit lighter, as you would expect a piece with some gesso on it. And so now I'm going to go in with the gold. And again, I'm getting the same thing. That color's starting to pop a little bit more. And the more you rub, the more the colors tend to blend in. So if you want your color kind of bright, just don't rub as much. So now here we have the gesso butterfly versus the ungessoed flower. And the colors, again, just seem to be popping a little bit more. It's not focusing too good with the white background. Let's get you some contrast. So that's what we've got with the wax, and that's kind of how you use them. You can also use these on paper, but we're going to try them on a piece of metal here now just to see how they look. I've got some metal butterflies here, and first we're going to start with some of the Inka Gold again, and I'm just going to go in with some black. Excuse me. And just going to brush that on with my finger. And this takes the Inka Gold without any gesso or any primer or anything like that at all. It takes the color really nicely. It gives it a nice aged metal look. So we've gone from that brass metal look to now this grayish silver aged look on the butterfly. And for this butterfly, again, I'm going to use the darker bronzed age because I think the gold would just blend in with it. Yeah, and this one is just blending in too. Let's see if we can try another color. Another metallic color. Let's see if we got something. Okay. I found one in my stash. A brighter color. Okay, this one's from my stash. It's not something that we've gotten in a kit. I just happen to have it. There we go. Look how the metal just takes that color and it just pops. You see? Get that to focus on. So it takes the metals take the metallic wax really well, just like they take the Inka Gold really well. And that color is just really pops. So as you can see, the Inka Gold and the metallic waxes, they're similar yet they're different. But they're a lot of fun to play with and experiment with. So just pull out your Inka Gold and your waxes and your chipboard and some metal pieces and just experiment. You can also use these on paper as well. So that's one of the things that we got in the kit and that we've gotten in our past mixed media kits. Next up, we're going to go to some modeling cream versus ferrule. What are these and what is the difference in those? Well, the first thing is modeling cream is just like your typical modeling paste. It's just colored. It's creamy in consistency. You can use this through masks or stencils or whatever you want to use it for in any mixed media project. Actually, you can also paint with it as well. It's a lighter texture, so it may not be as thick as your modeling paste, but that's basically the idea of it, like a 3D modeling paste. And your ferrule, this is a textured modeling paste. And again, when you open these, you don't want to throw away your pieces on lid because this is what helps keep your creams creamy. This is a texture. This has got a more grittier texture to it, but it's, again, it's a modeling paste. It's just a little bit grittier. Again, you can use this through a stencil as well. So I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper here, and I've grabbed a stencil, and I'm going to show you the difference in the two. First, we're going to start with the modeling paste. We're going to take some, and I'm just going to take it through my stencil here. There we go. And pull it up, and that's what I've got. Just like any other modeling paste. Next up, I'm going to grab some of the ferrule. And if you listen, you can kind of hear the grit. And you can hear it as it goes through the stencil as well. That's the grit in it. And it's going to dry just like your regular modeling paste, except you're going to have some texture to it. But it goes just through the stencil just like any other modeling paste. So that is the difference. That's what your ferrule is. And the ferrule is really nice to use for like grungy type projects, so you have that extra texture there. Versus your modeling cream, you can use that on any type of project that you want. Again, it's just that smooth paste. It's almost like a whipped modeling paste, if you ask me. That's what I would call it, a whipped modeling paste, except it just comes in color. So these are a couple of things that we've gotten in our past mixed media kits that I wanted to take you through to show you some how-tos, or what are the differences in between the two, and things that you can do with them. And again, I'm no expert. These are just some things that I found in working with these items, so I just figured I'd share that with you and give you an idea on how to use these items if you weren't very familiar with them. So this has been Kim for Swirlydoos Kit Club. If you've liked what you've seen here, please check out our forums at www.swirlydoos.com. Please check out our YouTube channel. We've got lots and lots of tutorials and tips and tricks. And if you like our kits, please check out our website again at www.swirlydoos.com. Click on Join Our Club. Mention my name, Kim. You'll get 10% off your first kit and a coupon for 30% off the store, where you can stock up on some of these goodies and maybe some of our past mixed media kits, and you can get some of this stuff and try it out for yourself. So thanks for joining me. Bye.